All right. Mic check 1, 2. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus, Market Open, and ISM Services. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okay, everybody, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Give me a heads up if you can hear me. I know you can see the charts. You know, I don't like I'm not going to say it right now, we're in public. Anyway, our charts are very small. Anyway, good morning. So, looking at the usual cast of characters this morning, um, I think the 8 o'clock gold trade looked like it worked this morning. Just looking at a 1-minute chart, it looked like a nice move up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, last night, anytime there's a DMM due out on a Sunday, I never get the DMM until like 10 o'clock at night, which is extremely difficult for me to get the DMM out the same day. Ironically, I fastidiously prepared the DMM um, and never sent it. It was in the draft folder when I got up this morning, and maybe that was for the best because I updated it, and there is a very, very promising ES setup for the ISM services. So, everybody, please check your DMM this morning for ISM, and we'll talk about it later. Just make sure it has the ES on it, that you got the right DMM, which I'm sure you did, but just check it and make sure the ES is on the ISM services DMM. All right? It's a very good setup over the past couple of months. And that's important because the past couple of months have been the most difficult trading markets we've ever seen in the history of trading since I've been here. Now, we've talked about the oil trade, or we double checked and went back over the weekend to look at our range trade. It doesn't work. The breakout doesn't work. Right now, I would not recommend trading the breakout on the oil open, although I'll bet you it works today. Today is a weekend after a holiday. That's a very strong reason why the gold trade worked. Also, I like our regular setups even more on a day the markets have been closed for a holiday. I like Mondays a lot in general because you get a lot of pent up energy. People are raring to go. You know, brand new retail traders are putting stupid orders on. I like Mondays. I do like Mondays generally. Anyway, so this morning's schedule is pretty straight ahead, just our normal regular market opens, and then we'll hang
Citi sees a
around
Fed rate cut
and
beginning
wait for
September
the
versus
ISM
June previously.
services report, which has been a pretty good behaving report over the past year or maybe even longer. It's ISM manufacturing that's been a problem. So that's the short version of the plan for this morning. Let's take a look at crude. Crude's up. Um, I'm going to keep my comments in check. but extremely concerning what's going on in the world. We're going to leave it at that. It's extremely concerning what's going on in the world. I mean, I don't want to die. I don't want to see a nuke dropped under any circumstances ever again. All right, looking at crude, it's at $110, our crude, on a 15-minute chart. It's actually a little bit bearish this morning. All right, crude's a little bit bearish at the moment. It did make a new high last night when it opened, when the markets reopened after the holiday, and then it's been selling off pretty much since, and then it pulled off the low. Now I have a whole bunch of accounts that got reinstated, accounts that got blown up. So I'll trade crude in a prop account because we're here. It's the only reason I'll trade it. And we are looking and trying to find a better setup. We just haven't done it yet. We're trying. We checked our current setups. They're not working. So what I'll do for the moment, I'll put a reverse continue. I'll watch crude until 9. I'll watch it until the open. I'll put a reverse continue on every chart, and I'll put a magnet on every chart. So I'm going to right-click the chart, click strategy, click news trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue, one position, a target of 25 ticks, and a stop of 25 ticks. That's my reverse continuation with crude this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with crude this morning. Never mind. We're going to label it CL reverse continue. And I'm just going to put it on a reinstated account that's fresh. So it's like a new account, but the billing occurred. So first I got to put on my data because I rebooted. I had to reboot. I wasn't getting all the data for some reason. And then sometimes you just have to reboot your NinjaTrader, and that will solve a million problems. I highly recommend that, is certainly on a Monday, reboot your cable modem, reboot everything. There's also a really excellent Microsoft, believe it or not, a Microsoft product. It's free, and it's called PC Manager. All right? What PC Manager does, it's sort of like CC Cleaner, but it's free, and it doesn't screw your computer up. I recommend that you run PC Manager every Monday. Every Monday in the morning, go to the website time.is. Okay? Get your computer in sync. That should be the first thing you do. Go to the website time.is. Check your computer. Is your computer time exact? That's what you want. If it's not exact, go into the trade room file folder. Files, all right? Go into the trade room file folder and download D4 Time. It's a time sync program, or PT Sync. Two programs that do the exact same thing. Install them and run them, and it will put your computer in sync. And the proper way to run them is every time you use time.is, you should use it from a fresh browser. You should never go to time.is and do it again on the same browser. In other words, here I am, time is, and I'm doing it again on the same browser. That won't work. Close your browser. Start the browser over and then do it. And that will give you an honest check of whether you're in sync or not. So, Monday morning, you get up, restart your cable modem, unplug it, let everything restart, reboot your computer, run PC Manager from Microsoft. Go to the search menu, PC Manager. All right, it's an app. It's free. Run it. All right. I'm not going to run it now, but I'll show you what to do. When you use it the first time, do not automatically start any program when you sign into Windows. In fact, if everybody will right click on your taskbar, go to taskbar settings. Let's do it differently. Let's right click on your taskbar, go to task manager. Let me think how I want to do this. Give me a second because I don't do this all the time. I want to give you the right info. Let's do it the other way. Right click on your taskbar.
So seeing an Axios report on X saying a senior White House
Taskbar
official confirmed
settings.
that the plan for a
Go to
45-day
apps.
ceasefire between the US and Iran is one of several ideas
Go to
currently being
startup.
discussed. The president has not yet approved its
Every
operation effort
single
fury
app
is
should be
ongoing and
off.
troubles should be
There
raised at
is
1
no
p.m., the White
reason
House has said.
to have any app on when you start up Windows unless you absolutely understand why and how little resources it uses. Just turn off all your auto apps. You don't need them. If you want to start a program, you can start a program. Okay? PC Manager, I run all of the features. I boost the memory. I clean, do a deep clean. I do a little clean, a big clean, everything. And when I'm done, I'm done. And then it cleans off your temporary files. I'm not going to show you how to run it today, but I'll show you maybe when we're done. If somebody reminds me, I'll show you how to do it when we're done. I don't want to do it right now. I don't recommend making big changes to your computer 10 minutes before you're going to take a trade. Do your changes when you have an hour or 45 minutes. So if something goes wrong slightly, you have time to fix it. You don't have to rush into a trade. Rule number one, don't rush into a trade anyway. If you're not ready to trade, just wait. Wait for the next trade. Don't rush into a trade. Okay? Anyway, we did not know the market was going to be open Friday. We've never in our lives seen the market open just for the jobs report the way that it opened last Friday. The market opened at 8. It closed at 9:15, and it was crazy. And it was a great move on the ES, and we made a whole bunch of money. I did send a last second email. It was also Good Friday. You know, a lot of people don't really want to be trading on Good Friday. Oil, we've got a reverse continuation on the chart. We're going to use account number 35, which is a throwaway account. What do I mean by a throwaway prop account? It's a prop account that we use for testing, for high risk, for trades that aren't vetted. Okay? It's not funded and it's not important. It's not that it's meaningless, but it's a lower level account that if it gets damaged, life will not end.
Iran's
Lots
Fars
of
news
time
agency
would
says
not have been
petrochemical
wasted.
complex at Iran's Marvesht attacked by US and Israel.
That's the only way that I would trade oil. the oil open because we don't have a vetted setup at the moment. If I have a vetted setup, I might still trade it in this same account until we're comfortable that the setup is good. Sometimes you have to trade a setup for real to make sure that everything's working the way you expect. All right? Calvin, I definitely don't agree that it's going to be good news. And we'll see. But everybody be aware that Trump will be talking at 1, supposedly. I don't see that on the financial juice calendar. So I don't know where you're getting that from, Calvin. I don't know where you're getting that from. I know. I understand. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. You might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not sure I agree. That's all. You might be right. You might be wrong, as Billy Joel said. And those aren't the right words. But oil, we have I'll put a breakout on. I'll trade it because, like I said, it's a throwaway account. It's a Monday after a holiday. So I'm going to load my. Do I have an oil breakout template? I think I do. I think I do. Let's take a look. If I do, it would be called Oil New Open. And we do have one of those for sure. Oil New Open, we'll date it today. Today is the 6th. Load her up. Load it up. Got a bracket of 15. We're going to trigger at 8:59:59. 8:59:59. Right, Frank. What's the name of that song? Bracket 15. Position 1, 8 tick target. Position 2 is a 20 tick target. Our stop is 20, and our target 1 stop move is BE for break even. That's our breakout. It's already labeled CL breakout. We'll go into optional and we'll turn off the auto disable unchecked, which is already unchecked. Apply it. Okay it. We'll put our software on sim. I want to see what the bracket looks like. When you set your time to 0, you get brackets to
Order
trigger
submitted.
when there's
Order
price
canceled.
movement. Last week, I did a lot of damage to my funded account, and by the end of the day, I had made all the money back scalping, except for like $50. So, because I had bad opens on Thursday, we had a bad RTY open. On the RTY open, try to get your stop above or below the range. All right, so I'm going to trade this breakout in a meaningless prop account. 8:59:59 is the trigger. The bracket's 15. Target 1 is 8. Target 2 is 20. The stop is 20. Target 1 stop move is BE. And we'll trade this in account number 35.
So seeing
Apply it.
confirmation here from the White House
Okay.
on a potential ceasefire plan, saying one of many ideas, and the White House says Trump hasn't signed off on a ceasefire plan.
All right, YM. I'll put a reverse continue on the chart like we always do. One contract for the moment. And we'll do a 35 target and a 35 stop. 35 target, 35 stop. We'll label it YM. reverse continue. And YM, I'm trading on Lucid this morning. Lucid, I think I only need about $500 to get my Lucid account funded. Currently, we have 3 funded accounts that we're working on. So YM reverse continue, and we'll put a YM magnet on also. Right click, click on magnet, high of day, low of day. Position 1, target is -3. We'll add a position 2. Our target will be 15. Our stop will be 45 at the moment. Target 1 stop move. We'll go to break even if our first target gets hit. I'll quickly, very quickly program my internal buttons. ARS position 1 is a 1, target 1 is a 35.
So we're seeing here from
The stop
Interfax,
is
Russian Defense
35.
Ministry says
That
Ukraine
lets me
attacked
trade
facilities at the
signals.
maritime transshipment
Reverse
complex in
continue.
Novgorod
Position 1 is a
overnight.
1.
The Defense Ministry said
Position 1 is a
CPC
2.
mooring
The
point was
stop is
damaged and that
35.
4 oil product reservoirs caught fire.
Target is 35. YM is on Lucid. And we'll label it YM magnet. That's all I'm going to do right now. The oil's almost ready to open. I did want to get a magnet on oil also. So our YM is set up. Let's get a magnet on oil. We have 2 minutes. High of day, low of day. Just one position. Default target. We'll do a 25 tick stop. And we're going to go down and label it CL magnet. You must label all your setups. If you don't label your setups, you will regret it. Trust me. Label every setup. I don't care what you call things. Label every setup. You don't have to call them what I call them. Label every setup. And then we'll turn on our magnet. When you turn on your magnet, you're looking for your orders. But right now we're far away from
US
highs and
effective federal
lows,
funds rate unchanged at
so I'm not concerned about
3.64%.
it at the moment. No, Calvin, I didn't have time. I didn't do it. I don't know. Is it still valid? I don't even know. Barely knew what you were talking about. I'm sorry. I have to reread your email. I just was exhausted when I was reading that email. We're going to get a breakout here. Brackets. And not really liking the bracket setup on oil.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled.
All right, so it gave me 3 ticks. I could have been more aggressive. I'll turn the magnet on for a test of the low. A test of the low with a sell at 09. Oil's down $1.50. I'll get rid of the range, not the range, but the oil breakout. It could have been better, honestly, if I just jumped out faster, which I thought of doing. It just didn't quite get to the second target, and we move our stop to safety on that event. Now, I don't even know how to log into my Lucid dashboard, so I'll have to do it after this trade room. I'll figure it out. Oil, so a 3 tick winner based on our setup. If we didn't move the stop, we'd still be in the trade at the moment. Now, if oil decides to move up, 15 ticks from our entry, then you're stopped out with a small loss. Okay, 20 ticks we used. We used a 20 tick stop. So you'd lose $170 if you just left your stop in place. Sometimes moving your stop causes you to leave money on the table. Sometimes it protects you from having a loss. There's no absolute hard and fast rule about you must do this with your stop only. RTY, let's put a reverse continue on the chart. We'll get ready for the open. So we're going to do a reverse continue. Position 1 is a 1, a target of 35, and a stop of 35. Label it RTY, reverse continue, and RTY I will trade in a funded account. Apply it, okay it, and we'll put the chart trader on that account and turn it on. Then I'll put my RTY range trade on. Might as well get the RTY ready. RTY looks like a nice magnet this morning too. Plus you do have some early testing. If you want to test the PP, it's almost a double magnet, VWAP and PP. RTY, let me load up the range trade because that's our regular normal trade. News trader, I'm going to load my template. I haven't loaded it in a while. Actually, I think I loaded it last week. Okay, go down to range. Go down to optional first. Show the vertical line on entry, uncheck it. Show vertical line on entry, uncheck it. Range trade. Start the range at 925, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Go up to the top, make sure the trade type is on range trade, which it will be, or you won't see those options.
Commenting
Range
about
end is
minor damage in the attack on Iran's
9:30:00.
Fars petroleum complex.
Don't forget our range start time is 9:25:00. The range end time is 9:30:00. Position 1's a 1, position 2 is a 1, 10, target 1, 20, target 2. Target 1 stop move, BE. Stop is 35. That's our range trade, trading it in the same account as my reverse continue. We don't trade them all at the same time. You can't. You just want a variety of opportunities on your charts. You don't know what the market's going to do at the open. You just don't know. So if you have different opportunities available, you have some that are discretionary and you have some that are automated, and you can easily make a decision what you want to do. And then I will I will put I'm going to get rid of our oil trade. I'm done with oil, so we'll take away our oil magnet. And we'll change our oil, get rid of our oil reverse continue also. Remove it, right click and remove it. Okay. And we'll change our oil chart. Oil is going to do a VWAP test also. I could have shown you what that VWAP test would look like. I don't think I can get there fast enough. So if we're going to do a quick VWAP test, it would be a manual entry price, target the VWAP, apply it, okay it. It's too late. I would not take this trade because your order is so close, right? That's where your order has to be. It would be entering
Order
right now.
submitted.
I'm in sim. That would have been our view up. I would have pulled back my stop below the candle. Really, where your stop should be below all the structure, but that's way too big of a stop. So I would use previous candle would be a good stop. I get my order out of the way now. We already got filled. I don't need that order in the way. So now you're just waiting to see if you target the VWAP successfully or not. Now I know I did that rather quickly. Had you been looking at magnet, had you had a magnet on the chart already like I did, my magnet would have been on high of day, low of day. And I could have done all that targeting from the control panel by changing this first line to manual entry price and then target the VWAP and then place my order line where I want to be filled. And we do have a magnet masterclass video. We have a mini masterclass, which really covers about 85%. And then I have two other videos. I don't know if you remember, but we had some targeting problems for a short period until the programmer fixed them. But they were good master classes, but I never released those videos because I haven't edited out the problems, which is very time consuming. So I just haven't had time. So it doesn't look like oil is heading to the VWAP anymore. But that's how you do it. All right. I'm in sim, so I'm not spending my time watching this trade. I'll show you over and over and over and over how we target the various levels. Now, see why you should have labeled it magnet strategy? I don't know for sure. I mean, is that my YM or is that my oil? I didn't label it. Now, fortunately, my YM is labeled properly. Always label, because now I'm getting ready to cancel it and remove it. What if you remove the wrong trade and you're in a trade and you're making money and you screw up the whole trade? You want everything labeled. You want
Order filled.
everything labeled. Okay? So let's go to MNQ 0626 on our chart. Anyway, I can't get Bruce Hornsby's new record out of my head. Now, he's an interesting person. 3 songs make life living, maybe even 4. Which, if you can get 4 songs on one record that make your life worth living, that's pretty good. He does a lot of experimental music, in my opinion, that I'm not a super fan of, but I love him more than almost any performer that ever lived. He's brilliant. And there are 3 songs on the new record. There's actually 5 I could think of. 2 I really like, 3 that I absolutely love. Anyway, I highly recommend you listen to it. You can listen to it on YouTube. It's a great record called Indigo Park. The title cut is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Up there with any Hornsby. If Hornsby wanted to write another the way it is, he could write it in a second. He chooses not to be what he used to be. And that's what makes him so interesting. Anyway, so we've got an MNQ chart. Let's put a reverse continue on that chart as we get ready for the open. Right click, News Trader, change it to an MNQ, reverse continue, change it to. Now we'll trade a couple of contracts, one position on the MNQ, reverse continue, we'll do a target of 75 and a stop of 75. And then we will label it MNQ, reverse continue. And we're going to trade that in a funded account. Let's trade that in number 68. MNQ will be on funded account 68. So our reverse continue is set up. Our market open this morning. Our market open is a breakout. Double click News Trader. Breakout trade is up there. I'm going to load my template. Go to template, load. MNQ new open is what we call it. MNQ new open, there it is. Right click, rename it, today's date. Today is the 6th. When you load it, it saves it. So we've got a 35 bracket. Time is on 0. The trigger time will be 9:29:59. Our bracket's 35. Target 1, I'm using 40 this morning. And $1.25, 125 on target 2. Stop is 125, and target 1 stop move is BE break even. Labeled break even MNQ under optional. Show vertical line on entry is unchecked. Right now our time is on 0. The charts are on sim because we're going to look at our bracket and just see how wide it is. We want it to be manageable.
Order submitted.
See, it's a little bit too wide. You don't want it all scrunched up, but you don't want it so wide that you can't see it. You want it manageable, right? Preferably, I'd like to see the highs and the lows, or at least part of them. But sometimes it just has to be a little bit wider than you want.
Order canceled.
So the breakout has a manageable width of the bracket, so I'll uncheck the strategy, put the time back to the correct, highlight the trade, the breakout, put the time to the correct trigger time, the activation time when the orders go on the chart is 9:29:59. And we had a bracket of 35, targets of 40 and 125, and a stop of 125. Target 1 stop move is BE to break even if it hits the first target. And then we'll change the account from SIM back to our funded account, 68. Apply it, okay it. So now our MNQ breakout is ready. And I will put an MNQ magnet on the chart also for after the open. Maybe we'll trade some signals while we wait for ISM. There won't be much time to wait for ISM. We'll start setting up pretty much right after the open. But I'll put an MNQ magnet, high of day, low of day. Remember, these are just opportunities. These are not all trades you're going to take, and you certainly can't take them all at the same time, right? So high of day, low of day, default
According to Wells
proximity is
Fargo
3. That
Investment
just
Institute
determines
expects the
how
US Fed
far
to
from
keep
the high of
interest
day,
rates
low of day
unchanged in
the orders
2026
get
versus
placed.
the prior forecast of 2 rate cuts this year.
And we'll do a couple of contracts, and we'll use 100 stop. Default target of -3. So just a regular magnet at the moment, high of day, low of day. Label it MNQ magnet. And choose the right account. Everything is in the same account, 66. Apply it, okay it. When you turn on your magnet, it does put the order entry line. You can look at it and hover over the magnet entry button to see where your fill is. And it's in a good spot. I'm not changing it at the moment. Remember, I'm just watching for signals, so I'm not changing anything at the moment. I'm not trading the magnet, I'm just watching it. So YM, we're waiting. YM is set up. We have a YM magnet. We set it up a little while ago. We have a YM reverse continue. RTY, we have an RTY range trade. That's our 5-minute range. All right. I'll show you that again. I'll turn it off and go over the settings on the RTY range. You have to turn off your enabled check mark or you won't be able to adjust your settings. Has to be off to adjust settings. Right click the chart for strategies, highlight your range trade, and now you can see all your inputs. It's a range trade. The range ends at 9:30:00. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20. Target 1 stop move, I use break even, BE, and our stop is 35. Scroll down. In optional, you can, under optional, you can show vertical line on entry, uncheck it so it doesn't get in the way of the range being drawn. And then on your range trade start time, 9:25:00, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart should be checked. And then choose the account you're trading it. Make sure your trade is labeled RTY range, RTY open, whatever you want to call it. Just don't call it something that it's already being called for another setup. And then double check the accounts that you're trading everything. If you're doing as many setups as me, or even if you're not, just check in your control panel, check up here that your account being traded matches the chart trader that you're on. So all my RTY setups should be on our funded 66. So I just look at my RTY setups, my range, that's on 66. My RTY reverse continue, that's on 66. I said I wanted to put an RTY magnet on to watch. Right click, strategy, click magnet. Let's go down and label it RTY magnet. All right. That also is on account 66. All right. High of day, low of day. Default for proximity is 3. Just going to trade one position for a negative 3 tick target. That means 3 ticks before you get to the magnet, exit the trade. 35 tick stop. Everything else is default. I'm going to leave everything else where it is. We've already labeled it. It's on 66. Apply it. Okay, when you turn on the magnet, it'll turn on your orders. All right. If you want to see where the orders are, hover over the magnet entry button and it shows you, well, I'm selling at 25.12 and my target is 11.70. That's pretty tight. I might make it a little bit bigger to make a little more profit. Same thing on the top. I like to make 15 ticks or so on a magnet. So the buy is at 50.4. The sell is 52, so it's a 16 tick target. And I'm not really all that interested at the moment with the magnet on the RTY. If you want to just watch high of day, low of day, and VWAP signals, you could turn off the high of day, low of day, and just turn that to off, and you'll just see your high of day, low of day signals and your VWAP signals after the market opens. I'm interested after the market opens, not interested in doing anything on the RTY before the market opens. All right, so we have about 7 minutes. We've been getting, these are VWAP signals. When you're up and down around the VWAP, then you might get extra signals. Like if you go down to the VWAP and then it goes up, then it goes back down, that could generate signals. So I don't rush. I don't rush into anything these days, usually. I prefer to take a short if momentum is lower. I prefer to take a long if momentum is higher. Now the YM, as we get closer to the market open, the YM. Again, we're pretty far from levels on the YM. The PP looks like it's going to get tested, but it's almost already there. So, if you wanted to make a change real quick, you would change your high of day, low of day, manual entry, change your targeting to PP, and just move your line for an entry somewhere where you want to be filled. Now, I'm not dying to do the PP at the moment. It may work, but I'd rather go for the high of day, low of day at the moment. All right. It's Monday. I think we could get a pretty strong move this morning. The PP is not a bad level to trade the magnet if you want to. It'll probably hit it. I think it's a good magnet. Previous open is a possible magnet also. If price drops the previous open, that's a very good magnet. Might be better than the PP because, well, it all depends. If price goes up, the PP is probably good. Now here is your range trade being generated. It's a 5-minute range. Now you can always do a poor man's magnet. You have your instant long, instant short on the chart, right? So you could turn off your auto magnet and let's say I'm positive we're going to test the PP. When it goes above the VWAP, you could go instant long for a test of the PP. So I call that a poor man's magnet because you're not actually setting up a full magnet trade, but you have a scalp trade where you'd be scalping to the PP. Wow, I don't know if there's any hockey fans out there, but what a fantastic Flyers game last night. They beat the Islanders in overtime. It was such a great game. A great last 10 minutes. That's all I caught. It was so exciting. I love
1 minute
hockey.
remaining for the market on open imbalance.
I like the 6 p.m. test. I think that's a great magnet. The low of day might be pretty darn good also. You know, you can also fake out your software. You can put your order entry above the previous open. Your target is going to be at the low because that's what this is programmed for. But if you really think you're going to get a test of the previous open, you could put your order here and then
10
manage
seconds.
manage your target. I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave it there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what
Order
happens.
submitted.
Market
Order
on open
submitted.
imbalance.
Order submit.
S&P
Order
500
filled.
sell side 96 million. Nasdaq 100 sell side 11 million. Dow
Expanding
30
my
sell side 31
Order
MNQ.
million.
submitted.
Mag 7
Okay, I
Order
sell side
couldn't
filled.
keep
21 million.
expanding it. I tried. Okay, I'm not dying at the moment now to get a short fill. RTY, before I could even blink, it was a profit, instant profit. It owed us from Friday. MNQ, instant, very nice profit because we expanded the targets. So it was a very sweet profit, over $200. And we got to update our target. I was able to make it bigger because I was very quick on the draw. Okay, very quick on the draw. Now our our YM, it did make that PP. I keep saying every week I've got to use some of these smaller setups on the YM because we've been very far away from the high of day and low of day. So rather than not have a setup, if you use closer magnets on the open, you might have a good chance of hitting them. Now, YM is lucid. Funded was MNQ and RTY. RTY is funded. I don't know about the high of the day, RTY. It's hard to trust these markets to make new highs. It really is. I may be done this morning, just going to watch for a minute or two. We'll get ready for ISM. I'm not sure I'm dying to scalp this morning. I don't scalp. I'm not a fanatical scalper. Scalping's very hard. It's very hard. And especially when you've had a very nice market open, you don't have to be in a rush to scalp. You just don't. I mean, if you're good at it, do it. You know, if you're great at it, do it. We have the tools. Right now, I'm just watching. Let's get rid of a couple of setups that we don't need. The MNQ breakout MNQ, I'm unchecking it and I'm removing it. Right click, remove it. I don't need it anymore. We traded it. Now, the YM, I said I would let it test the low. If it makes a new low, I'll let it. I will let it. Um, a little bit leery because the markets are mixed. In other words, you got YM down, NQ up, RTY slightly up. I'd rather they all agree, if you know what I mean. Now, the MNQ magnet, look, you could always, if you don't want to trade it funded, you can throw it onto account 35 real quick, right? The account we just traded. See if we can get this done. If I don't want to give back my funded money, I put it on 35, turn it on, make sure my chart trader is on 35, and now turn my magnet on. If it decides to go up, we can let it fill, okay? And you could do the same thing with the RTY. If you don't want to take your risk funded, you can change your account. Change to a prop. Build up another account if your trades work. Funded, steady, consistent is a good rule of thumb. Steady and consistent is nice. Very nice, Nitin. Good open. Good open. Now RTY would be testing the high right here. It's going to make it. It looks like it's going to go right through it. Let's see if it tests the high. Yep, it just did it. Blew right through it. YM. Let's see if our YM trade will test the high. And then we'll go to ISM services. So MNQ, I'm going to turn off my MNQ, turn off the magnet, turn off the MNQ reverse continue. I'll remove the magnet. I'm changing the chart to ES 0626. And you know what? I think I am now going to get ready for our setups. So the YM, it did not get as far as I wanted to. It may still go test the high, but I'm going to get ready for ISM services now. RTY, beautiful, beautiful double, would have been a double winner. We took our first winner. RTY magnet worked perfectly if you took it. So we'll remove our RTY magnet. I'm going to remove my RTY chart. I'm going to have two charts open for ISM. RTY range is off and gone for the morning. And then the RTY reverse continue, we don't need that because I'm not using that chart. I'm using the RTY, but on a different chart. So I have two setups for ISM this morning. Our YM is done, and I think tomorrow I'll trade a little bit more aggressively on the YM on magnets. I want to keep doing the YM on magnets. I have an ES chart on the left. ES chart on the left. All right. And in fact, I'm going to start a whole new video. Let's do it. Bear with me. We are streaming, by the way. I'd love somebody that's actually watching us online to say something, for heaven's sake. Say something. Our streams are like Death Valley days. Nobody talks. Nobody talks. Nobody walks. Was that crazy, Eddie? Nobody walks. Nobody talks. I can't remember if that was crazy, Eddie. No one walks. No one talks. I don't know. That's not even the right statement. Can't remember. I'm hungry. Anybody else hungry? I need me a bagel. I want a bagel. That's what I'm in the mood for. All right. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus ISM Services. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director of 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. All right, so we don't have a YM reverse continue, but let's leave the reverse continue for our RTY chart. RTY is the middle chart, 0626. Two setups for ISM services. I'm not seeing nobody talks, nobody walks. Can't find it. All right, it's enough time wasted on that foolishness. All right, so let's get the DMM. Why did we send an update this morning? So first thing on an ES chart, putting a reverse continuation. All right, we already have one on the chart, so I'm just going to update it for the ES. A contract, a 25 tick target, a 25 tick stop, and I will trade the ES in a funded account. I very much like this setup. ES reverse continue, and we'll trade it in a good funded account. All right, apply it, okay it, and right now I'm going to leave everything on sim now. So ES reverse continue is labeled, okay? Then we have our DMM. We're not recommending gold at the moment on this particular trade. If we had a trap trade, I would do that. I'm not interested in a breakout trade. I have a trap trade for this, but the breakouts look very good. So we're going to give our take our risk this morning on the breakout. ES breakout. Right-click strategies, double-click news trader. Trade type is breakout. Activation time is 9:59:59. The bracket is 15. Position 1 is a 10 target. Position 1's a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10. Target 2 is 30. Target 1 stop move is a BE minus 2. And the stop is 25. I'll put the time on 0 for a moment. We'll look at our bracket on SIM. Make sure it's labeled ES breakout, ESBRK. Apply it, OK it. Chart traders on SIM. When you turn on a trade, enable a 0 time trade, it'll generate the brackets as soon as there's price movement.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets. Let's
Order
get rid
canceled.
of the optional. Highlight the breakout. Go to optional. Show the vertical line on entry. Let's get rid of that. Apply it. How do you save your own template? Go to template, save, and then just type in the name of the trade. So this is ISM Services, ES, and give it today's date. Okay, that's all you have to do. Save it. Now you have a template saved. I already had one with that exact name, so it asked me, do you want to override it? That's how you do it. 25 on the stop, James, on the ES. It's a big stop. If things go well, we shouldn't need it. It shouldn't matter. Here's our breakout again. Looks like
Order submitted.
time is set to 0.
Order
Right
canceled.
now, it looks like the ES wants to test the high. No idea what this news is going to be like. Good, bad, indifferent. No idea whatsoever how this news is going to be. There's quite a few different things that make up ISM non-manufacturing, which is a polite way of saying ISM services. So our ES setup, right click, highlight the breakout, put the time to 9:59:59. Our bracket is 15. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10 ticks. Target 2 is 30 ticks. The stop is 25. And then the target stop move, I'm using BE minus 2. And then the account I'm trading it in is my funded account. It's labeled ESBRK. Apply it, OK it. Put the chart trader on that account. And that's the same account my reverse continue is on. Then we also have an RTY setup. So we'll change our RTY, our YM reverse continue to an RTY. It's the same setup. 35 target, 35 stop, 1 position, but we're going to rename it RTY. RTY reverse continue. And we'll do this in Lucid. Do this in Lucid. reverse continue. So one position, 35 target, 35 stop. And we're doing it in Lucid. So apply it, okay it, turn it on. Our ES breakout can be turned on. And our RTY reverse continue can be turned on. The chart's on Lucid. And then we have an RTY. Let's put the chart on Sim. We do have an RTY breakout. We also had a YM magnet on that chart. I'm not going to do an RTY magnet, but we're doing an RTY breakout. Right click strategy, click news trader, breakout 959. 59, the bracket is 20. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That just means you have one contract on each position. Targets of 10 and 25. Target 1 stop move is BE minus 2. The stop is 35. So 959.59 on the activation, 20 on the bracket. We're going to make the time 0 so we could check our brackets. Targets of 10 and 25 with a stop of 35. Target 1 stop move using BE minus 2. Optional, remove show vertical line on entry gets unchecked. Label the trade RTY breakout. Right now we'll leave it on Sim so we can test our charts. We are on Sim.
Order submit. Order
See how
canceled.
it's a little bit tight, so we'll spread it a little bit so you can manage the
Order
trade.
submitted.
That looks better.
Order canceled.
All right. Then the chart trader gets put back on Lucid. We go into the software, right click, strategies, highlight the breakout, put the time to the correct time, 9:59:59. Everything's the same. Our bracket's 20, targets of 10 and 25, stop is 35, BE minus 2 on our target 1 stop move, but we're going to put our account on Lucid. That's what we're trading, Lucid. And turn it on. So now we're ready for all our setups. I'm going to put a magnet on the ES. High of day, low of day. Right click, strategies, click magnet, high of day, low of day. Proximity is 3 default. Position 1 default, -3 default on target 1. Stop
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have US ISM Services
30.
PMI, forecast 54.9, prior 56.1, the range of
Scrolling
56.8 to
down, down,
52.
down, down.
US ISM Services Employment, forecast 51, prior 51.8,
Label it
Services Processing
ES
Payment,
magnet.
forecast 67, prior 63, Services New Orders, forecast 56.8, prior 58.6.
Put it on
Also
the right
expecting
chart,
President Trump
66.
participating at the White House egg roll event.
Put the
We'll find a
time
video, put
on
it on the feed for
correct.
those interested.
High of day, low of day. Stop is 30. One position. Default target, -3. So our magnet is ready to go. Apply it. Okay. When you turn it on, you do get your orders. Right now, we're just watching the magnet, not trading a magnet, trading the breakout, watching. High of day, low of day. Our entry, if you hover over the entry button, It's only a 2-point magnet. So just watching, I'm watching it for signals more than anything. Now let me show you a video. It may make a new high before the news. It's possible. Here was the ES testing on ISM services. This was last month, and I tested with a couple of different bracket sizes. But what we had were really nice moves on the ES. Just very straight, old-fashioned, little bit more difficult in February, but it still easily hit target one. And if you just were patient with the trade, it worked fine. Little bit bigger bracket. It actually worked better in February with the bigger bracket. It gave you a much better opportunity for profit. And then March was fine either way. It had a very nice move in March. So we'll give the ES a shot. Also going to trade the RTY. So let me make sure I have my chart set up correctly. RTY is lucid. Both RTY setups are lucid. And my ES setups are funded 66. I'm tempted to take this along before the news, but you could wind up stuck in the trade waiting for the news. Then you're just random. I don't like that.
Reminder in 5 minutes time, we're expecting US ISM services PMI forecast 54.9, prior 56.1.
Now, they are
Services employment
expecting
forecast 51, prior
decent
51.8.
numbers.
Services prices paid forecast 67, prior
They are
63.
expecting decent
New orders
numbers
forecast
on ISM.
56.8, prior 58.6.
Above
Also expecting comments from Trump, who's participating in the White House egg roll.
above 50. I'm not even going to try and guess what this news is going to be. Absolutely no idea what this news is going to bring. Not even a slight guess. Now, let me see if I have a quick. I'm just watching that ES, curious to see if the ES test the high before the news. It's looking like it wants to. Got 5 minutes. If you decided, if you had put a magnet on and you want to trade it, all you have to do is press the magnet entry button, and now it's in automatic mode. And if it goes up and goes through your order line, your trade will get filled. It's very close to the news, though. You could get stuck in the market during the news. It's possible. Maybe not. It might happen so fast here. Now, it's interesting. You do have a slightly negative momentum. So, what do we call that? Divergence. You have a little bit of divergence. See, I know my terms. And now you don't. Now you do, now you don't. So I don't want this interfering with my trade. So I may just turn off the high of day, low of day. I'd rather get a pullback right now, like a 20
Crypto stocks rise as
tick
Bitcoin jumps
pullback
more than 2%. Coinbase Global up 2.1%.
before the news.
One minute remaining. I'll be leading with US ISM Services PMI.
I'm turning off the high of day, low of day, just because I don't want it to interfere with the breakout. Remember, we didn't design the magnet to trade at the exact moment of the news. That's what the breakout's for. And it's because fills can sometimes be lousy.
10 seconds.
So our brackets will show up shortly.
Order submitted. Order filled.
54, lower than the forecast of
So
54.9. Services prices paid,
it was just a
70.7.
very
Services spot 2, higher than
small,
forecast of 67. Services employment, 45.2. 45.2, lower than the forecast of 51.
I don't
Services new
know. I
orders,
it hit target
60.6.
one. I got
60.6, higher than
target one
forecast
out
of
of that.
56.8.
And what the heck happened in Lucid? I didn't see the data. So right now it looks like the RTY is heading up and I'm stuck in a
Order filled.
trade,
Seeing some strength.
stuck in a
Strength in the
trade
S&P
on
500.
that Lucid account that I turned off.
No other headline to explain this move, apart from the data.
Now, it's very bad news. It's not very bad news, but it's negative news. The RTY is moving up on the negative news
I don't see the
initially.
move
Wait,
being related
no,
to
it's
the data.
high on the
But again,
manufacturing
continuing
prices.
to see some strength in the S&P 500. We'll keep looking to see if we can find anything.
Let me see if I can see. It looks like ISM was lower than expected. The main number
The
looks
S&P
lower than
500 and Nasdaq
expected.
100 quickly extends to session highs.
Now, I'm a little bit confused about the Lucid account. It's showing, okay, it's showing flat. I'll have to check something in a minute. It's showing flat, which doesn't make sense because it was showing a loss on the trade when I closed it. And I'm wondering if I was in Sim by accident and thought I was in Lucid because they have the same color, if you follow me. So I might have, I mean, certainly it's not chosen that way. It's not chosen that way. So the ES, my trade made target one.
US Treasury
Target
yield
one.
slip after US services data. 10-year yield last
Did
down
anyone else trade
0.9 basis
the
points
ES
at
on that?
3.337%.
We hit
And
target
US
one.
Treasury 2-year yields last up 0.6 basis points at 3.858% after the data.
Now, Lucid, what's weird, 66, we made money. 68, we still have our profit from this morning. Didn't trade 67. So I've got to check in RTY. I'll check. Right now it looks like we've got a short possibility here. Maybe now you can put a magnet. I'm going to get rid of my RTY breakout, right? I don't need the breakout. We'll check our account in a minute. Check the account in a minute. Our ES made 75 bucks, target one. Did anyone trade the RTY? What happened on your RTY? Mine looked like a loser. It looked like a whipsaw candle. Looked like a whipsaw candle. We could check the video. We could check the video in a second. Right now, I do think RTY is doing a little bit of a sell-off here. Is it going to test the PP?
Order submitted.
I'll take a small scalp. I mean quick and small. VWAP, maybe VWAP.
Order filled.
All right, quick and small. So now my Lucid is showing down $600. So I think there was a significant loss on the RTY trade. So, man, the RTY has been good on the opens. So I'm tempted to set up a magnet on the RTY. I don't want to just trade crazily. I don't want a revenge trade. You know what I'm saying? ES breakout is done. The ES breakout is done. But it looks like the markets don't like this news. They don't like this news. Throwing on the magnet. On the RTY. I'm throwing a magnet on the RTY on Lucid. Label it RTY. All right, let's watch for a minute and see what's going on here. Turn on the magnet. Now we're far enough from high of days, lows of days that you could put them on. I think the RTY is a better magnet to test the previous open. So watch this. Manual entry price, previous open, day open, and that would be here. So if you thought you're going to get a test of the previous open, you'd put the trade on here. The entry would be 25, 30, 60, and it's just a small, it's a scalp really for it to test the previous open. Is it worth a shot? I think it's probably worth the shot. Let's see if it tests the previous open. Right now you have a pretty strong downward momentum. Now the news, ultimately, negative on manufacturing employment, negative on manufacturing. The main news was very negative. Prices are up. I would think that's negative. And then new orders, though, were up. But these are less important elements of the report. The most important is the manufacturing, and it was down.
We have posted the US Services PMI March
I'm
2026
not
report on the feed for those
trusting the
interested.
RTY at the moment. It did have this sell-off, all right, but it's been bullish all morning. In all seriousness, even though there was a sell-off, this sell-off took place after a new high. So I think it makes more sense right now to just watch it, not target a short. I'm not feeling short is the best direction. We'll watch the video in a minute. James, the ES had not a very, my ES definitely froze. The chart unquestionably froze. The orders froze for half a second. And I thought that was going to ruin my trade, and it didn't. So I could see why it might be that some traders might have had a bad result on the ES if you had any order data issues also. That could be a factor. The RTY was a clear loser. And that means that I now have a lot of work to do back on that Lucid account. I want to get that Lucid account passed. I've got 2 weeks. All right. I do want to thank everyone that watched us on YouTube. I'm going to close our YouTube stream. If you hit the like button, we'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll be streaming tomorrow morning. So we'll see you tomorrow on YouTube. Thanks for joining us.